unfortunately, it seems like Blade is the new one that was supposed to come out. I think it was last year. It was supposed to come out last year, from my remembrance. But it seems like Marvel, Disney, they cannot get that together. It seems like they're done making a movie. It was some news that was coming out on social media this past weekend saying that that movie with, I can't remember the actor's name, Marshala Ali, something like that. But that movie has been delayed with no news of when it's going to go back into production, which usually that means that the movie's been cut. It's been delayed with no dates of, when they're going back. That usually means that it's done. And it's unfortunate because I'm a Blade fan. Wesley Snipes will always be the best one. I was so glad that he was in Deadpool. I love that. Honestly, if that movie's cut, whatever that one they was looking to make, the Disney Marvel one, if that one's cut, then have Wesley Snipes come back. Dude, that would be sick, bro. He ain't that old, and he showed up in the Deadpool, so we'll cut the check for him and let him be in this universe. You already got Hugh Jackman. Why not? Like that would be sick, bro. If Wesley Snipes can still move, I don't know how his situation is, but I would love that. I'm a Blade fan. I was looking forward to the new movie, but I ain't gonna front. There were I remember some news, I think it was last year, that I was told that I've heard they had a couple of rewrites. And one of them I was told is where they had the story where Blade was in the movie, but he was in the back seat while they had like 4 different ladies leading the movie. Which, with Disney and Marvel, it seems like they always have an agenda lately with their movies. I don't know if that was going to be this one, but the fact that you have Blade in his own movie in the back seat, I was like, okay, no. I don't care who those other 4 people are. Ladies, man, whoever it is. I don't know. I ain't for the lady bashing male, but I ain't for all that. I'm just saying I want Blade in a Blade movie. I don't care that those other people are. If they go take his spotlight, get him out. Change the script. So when I first heard that and they changed it because people was not agreeing to that nonsense, I was happy, but I thought they got it together to where they was now going to make the movie. Well, I was wrong. And it seems like we may never get that Blade movie, or at least this one that they was looking to make. So that's unfortunate for me, but I want to see more and have more knowledge of what was going on. And the critical drinker's usually good at breaking this stuff down, so I want to see what he says. I'll put the original video in the description below, but it says Marvel's Blade is toast, and that's a good thing. Hey, bring Wesley Snipes back. Cut the check for him. Let him come back, bro. I love what he said in Deadpool, where he's like, there's only one Blade, and it always will be one Blade. As cool as that was, and then you see Deadpool look at the screen. As cool as that was, as a Blade fan, I want a Blade movie. I want another one. So I was like, okay, if there's only one Blade, can we get one with Wesley Snipes? But anyway, let's see here. I want more knowledge of what's going on.
The cinematic superheroes that have come and gone over the years, I've always had a real soft spot for Blades.
Yes.
At a time when comic book movies were being Joel Schumachered into the ground in a blaze of campy,
I actually enjoy Batman Forever.
Blade had the guts to be dark, violent, gritty, and R-rated.
That is one thing about Disney that annoyed the heck out of me. Was when Black Panther came out, it was being advertised. I'm not going to say it was from Disney specifically, but it seemed like they was riding the wave of it. Was saying that Black Panther was the first black superhero. It was like, did you forget? Let's not disrespect who came before, way before. And sorry, I hit my microphone. No disrespect to Black Panther, but that's a straight up lie to whoever said that. Blade came first, and honestly, Blade opened up a lot of doors. Forget black, white, all that stuff. He opened up a lot of doors for R-rated superhero movies. It showed that it can succeed. So a lot of these other movies now have to pay homage, has to give respect to Blade. Blade started a lot. He started a lot. And then Blade 2 I thought was really good as well. It was like an upgrade. Blade 3 was not that good, but it was still some parts I enjoyed. Anyway, yeah, that whole nonsense with Black Panther, that annoyed the heck out of me. I'm like, so we just going to ignore Blade, right? We're going to ignore it. So, yeah.
Who was at the apex of his career and given us a cool, brooding anti-hero who made Batman look like a Rings of Power superfan. Goofy 90s CGI aside, it was great
yeah, the
stuff that
CGI,
soon
but
became a
it
cult
was the
classic.
90s. Come on.
It gave us bullet time a full year before The Matrix thought to do it, and in a lot of ways, it kicked off the modern
it came
era
out before
of
The
more serious
Matrix.
and legitimate comic book movies. Yeah, I know The Crow technically did it like 4 years earlier, but Blade was way more accessible to general audiences. The 2002 sequel gave us a slicker, more refined product with better action scenes and a bigger cast. Unfortunately, the third movie, Blade Trinity, turned out to be a bloated misfire.
It was you know. I don't care watching it again.
Damn, man, it's probably worth watching for Jessica Biel alone.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's be real.
Career, but its underwhelming box office.
That's funny. I did not know who Ryan Reynolds was at that time.
To bring the Blade franchise
now we all know.
But hey, cometh the hour, cometh the greedy studio looking to capitalize on old IPs. And when Marvel bought back the rights to the Blade character in 2012, they got straight to work by sitting on it and doing nothing for the next 7 years. I mean, okay, to be fair, there was apparently some talk about Snipes reprising his role for a fourth movie in the mid-2010s, but it ultimately went
I didn't know
nowhere
that.
and no director was ever attached to it. It would be 2019 before Marvel finally announced a rebooted Blade movie with Mahershala
I was excited
Ali
about that, just to hear
attached
Blade.
role.
I was like,
And to be
oh,
honest
thank
here, the
God, it's
announcement
been a
wasn't
while.
exactly met with thunderous applause. A lot of people were still very much attached to Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah, he's still going to be the best.
For a fourth movie.
But I wasn't
idea of
against
an
the other
R-rated
guy.
Character like Blade slotting into the family-friendly MCU felt about as natural as seeing Movie Bob at a salad bar. The obvious worry was that they were going to neuter him to go for that mass market appeal and lose the very elements that made Blade
Yeah,
so
see, I
cool
don't want to
and
see
unique.
that. I don't want to
As
see
it
that.
turned out, though, we didn't have to worry much about that because the movie was about to enter its very own production hell. Not much more was heard about Blade until 2021, when Stacey Osei Kuffour was hired to write the script. And if that name sounds vaguely familiar to you, it's because she helped to write the god-awful Watchmen series that was so popular it got scrapped after one season.
I don't know what the hype was for that show. I love Watchmen, the movie I'm talking about, and so I got excited for the HBO show. I did not like it at all. I'll take that back. There was like one or two moments where I was like, oh, that was okay. All right. It had me in for a little bit. But overall, it says a lot too. They even get renewed for a second season. Like, I know it had people praising it, and you can like what you like. I'm not discrediting you, but in my opinion, it was overhyped. It was, overpraised, if that's a word. But I did not like it.
Was brought in to direct the movie, only to leave the project the following year over creative differences, forcing them to delay production. While they looked for a new director, they also decided to rewrite the script. Stacey was out and Beau DeMayo was brought in to replace her.
Didn't
and his
he do
big
X-Men?
idea was to make the movie a period piece set in the 1920s.
X-Men 97?
It's a bold strategy, Kyle.
Wait, what happened?
It pays off.
And Beau DeMayo was brought in to replace her, and his big idea was to make the movie a period piece set in the 1920s.
Oh, I don't want to see that. I want to see him in the MCU timeline.
Anyway, funnily enough, he left and got replaced by Michael Starbury, now the third writer to work on the project. And good news, they'd found a new director. Yann Demange, a French filmmaker with a grand total of 2 movies to his name, was brought in to handle directing duties. By now, the year of our Lord was 2023, a full 4 years after the movie was announced, and they apparently still couldn't get the script nailed down.
Bro.
Eventually, Starbury left and got replaced by Nick Pizzolatto. The 1920s idea was scrapped and the project was moved back to the present day. Finally, they seem to be making some progress. Then, the writer's strike happened, shutting them down again. Shit, man, if you told me that somewhere, somehow, a voodoo witch doctor had put a curse on this film, I would absolutely believe you because they just couldn't catch a break. By late 2023, things were looking grim. Ali was getting frustrated with the project and threatening to walk away.
5
and really,
years.
Who could blame him? That same month, Variety revealed that the planned script would have been female-led, because of course it had to be. It would have been all about the girls learning important
That's what I was
life
told.
lessons, and would have seen Blade relegated to a 4th place character.
Yeah, I ain't trying to
in his
see
own
all that.
movie.
I ain't.
The fuck are you out of your damn mind?
Oh yeah, and the whole thing was.
Yeah, I ain't trying to see. No. We ain't trying to see. Oh, okay, no, skip this. Hold on.
Which is less than.
No, I don't want to see that either. But
Relegated to
She-Hulk, that was embarrassing. That was an embarrassing show. But yeah, that no, who wants to see that? We waited so long for a Blade movie to have him in the back seat for some whatever agenda that Disney was going on there. If they had it, it seemed like it. I ain't gonna front. And you know, I can't lie. I'm not for all this. You know, all the stuff that's been going on the back and forth with, you know, these movies lately. Like, oh, this one has an agenda. We want this male. I usually don't like to get in the middle of it, but you know, you gotta call it like you see it. Lately, Disney, I mean, it seems like they're trying to clean up their act now, but in the last 5-7 years, it seems like Disney's always had some kind of agenda outside of just entertaining your fans that they've been trying to put in the movies and the shows. And for the most part, it hasn't done well. I mean, we saw, like, I'm a Star Wars fan. I hate the Rey Skywalker saga. Oh my goodness, you saw a lot of agendas in that. But they was gonna do it to my Blade movie. I'm so glad that was never made then. Oh no, I would have hated that. I don't care about these other characters. I want to see Blade. I want to see, you know, the R-rated Blade too. Don't neuter it down like he was saying. So I'm glad that didn't work.
A fourth place character in his own movie.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Oh yeah, and the whole thing was supposed to be done for less than $100 million, which is less than half of what She-Hulk cost to make.
Really?
Real adult
Seeing She-Hulk there is embarrassing, bro. And I love She-Hulk in the comics. The show was embarrassing, though.
Okay, that's enough. By the end
Wait,
of
what?
the year, things were real adult human beings actually thought that this was a viable idea. Just stop and think about that for a moment. Okay, that's enough.
So
By the
100
end of
mil
the year,
couldn't do a
things
Blade
were
movie?
looking
I mean, I'm
up.
not
The
good with
strike
the
was
numbers
finally
with
over
the
and
money
work could
of making
restart on
movies.
the project.
I'm not good with that
Lisa
stuff,
left the
but
production and Michael Green, who wrote
100 million sound like a lot.
Covenant, was brought in as the fifth writer.
But I guess if you compare it to the two, what was that? He said 230 million of She-Hulk. That embarrassment, then I guess you can see is I can see why that looks disappointing.
Unfortunately, by spring 2024, it all fell apart again when Demange decided he'd had enough of this shit and walked away. He was soon followed by Green, who got replaced by Eric Pearson, and they didn't even bother looking for a new director. By this point, Blade had been grinding on for 5 years and had now been through 6 writers and 2 directors.
That's crazy. I did not know it was that long.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Damn man, this film's got a higher body count than a liberal college girl. Anyway, this brings us at last to the end of our sordid tale, with the announcement a couple of days ago that the project had been delayed indefinitely, which is industry
removes
speak
it from
for
its schedule.
shit canned. And really, based on everything I've heard about this fucking disaster of a movie, I think it's the best result for everyone.
Yeah.
Nobody in their right mind wanted a Blade period piece set in the 1920s.
No.
Nobody wanted another bait and switch girl power wankfest where
No.
Blade's a background character in his own story. And nobody wanted some second-rate, low-budget piece of MCU
And
garbage.
I would be clear, I have no issue with the ladies having lead roles. But in a Blade movie, for Blade, that's the problem I got. Like, all the characters that you can have female lead movies, like different superheroes out there, you could have done it for something else. Don't put it in Blade. That's not what we want to see. We want to see basically what the first and second Blade movie is, just in 2024. So
dishonors the
it's not even a
legacy of
problem with
beloved
women. It's the fact of how they're
I
doing
mean,
it.
You're telling me that you were happy to shell out hundreds of millions of dollars on pointless trash like Agatha, She-Hulk, and Echo, but you expect a Blade movie to be held together on a shoestring budget? Honestly, the fact that they went through 5 years and 6 writers and still couldn't crack the character,
5 years,
despite
that's
having
crazy.
literally a trilogy of successful movies as their template, tells you exactly how little the Marvel of today understands what makes Blade work. I'd expect Mahershala Ali to walk away pretty soon too if the guy's got any common sense. He's wasted 5 years of his life trying to get this thing off the ground. He's 50 years old now, and that's not a great age.
Dang,
to be launching a new
I did not know he
superhero
was that
franchise
old.
That
Yeah.
would probably mean signing up for the next decade.
Yeah,
He's
because
better
we
off
all
without-
know if that Blade movie happened and it was a success, Disney would probably want to keep him for 10 to 15 years, and he'll be like 65 years old when his role is done, and it just wouldn't be good to him. So I didn't know he was that old.
Blade, and I think in retrospect, so are we. As old Wesley so rightly said,
There's only been one Blade.
Bring him back.
There's only ever gonna be one Blade.
oh yeah, and just before I go, I want to totally shill for myself by letting you know that brand new Critical Drinker and Critical Doggo plushies are available to pre-order now. Both of them have been redesigned to appeal to modern audiences, and they make great little companion pieces to keep you company while you slowly make your way to the bottom of the next bottle. If you order them both together, you'll even get a 10% discount automatically applied. But hurry, dear viewer, because they're only available for the next couple of weeks, and once they're gone, they're gone. Either way, the link is in the description, so feel free to take a look. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Alright, well, as unfortunate as it is that I have a Blade movie, I'm glad. I would rather not have a Blade movie than those other ideas that I heard. 1920s, don't want that. This female led thing on a Blade movie, don't want that. It's like, okay. It's so weird because you can just you can be influenced by what Wesley Snipes movies was and just, add to it. And not those other ideas I'm talking about up the ante with stories like the first one. That's all you got to do. It's very simple. The comics had great stories you could do. I don't know, but I'm glad. Shout out to Marvel. I will give them this. Shout out to Disney and Marvel. They was like, okay, this is not a good idea. Our other projects where we try to do stuff like this have not succeeded. I'd rather them just cancel it. And I'm pretty sure it'll come back. Who knows? Maybe in a couple years they'll announce that, okay, we finally got the right Blade project, and they'll do it. Who knows? As a Blade fan, I would love that, but I'm glad I can still just sit and chill and watch the first and 2 Blades. I'm cool with that. If that's all there is, I'd rather take it than see a new one. And I'm like, what the heck is this? So I'll take it. And anyway, Wesley Snipes is back. Bring him back. He was in Deadpool. Cut the check for him. That way we could actually still get Blade. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think about this. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.